Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the brand new 14TB WD Red NAS hard drive. That was quite a mouthful, wasn't it? But let's face it, WD Red has always been one of those brands in the world of network attached storage that is big. They were there at the very early days, and they were one of the first brands to really champion the idea of NAS based hard drives. Now, 14 terabyte NAS hard drives are a big deal, particularly from a brand that sat on the 10 TB mark for quite a long time. And only, a matter of, I'm not even sure if it was 2 months ago, that WD announced and released their 12 terabyte NAS hard drive. And now we're talking about 14 TBs. Things are starting to balance up between the big brands. So today I want to talk to you about why the 14 TB drive is interesting. First and foremost, the idea that 14 terabytes of storage are going to be available in a single bay of your NAS is a big deal. And once you start introducing things like RAID and multiple drives inside one storage array, you are looking at a serious amount of storage. One of the biggest problems when it's come to populating NASes since the early days is getting the most for your money. And with a 2-bay, of course, you can get things like RAID 1, and with a bigger one you get RAID 5 and RAID 6, but ultimately RAIDs cost you a certain amount of capacity, and thanks to bigger drives like this, you can buy a simple 2-bay NAS, put in 2 drives, and even in a RAID 1 still walk away with 14 terabytes of storage, which is a big deal, and it really cuts the costs and really helps you leverage your budget towards storage and still manage to cover hardware and vice versa. So let's talk about these 2 drives. The 14 terabyte WD Red drives are going to arrive in 2 different versions. As their other drives have been, there's going to be a normal drive and a Pro Series drive. Both of them are going to arrive with the NASware 3.0 controller and system control inside that's going to control the drive. And I use the word control 3 times in one sentence there. Terrible. But ultimately, they arrive with tweaks and performance overheads that are designed for NAS use. Now, the big difference between the standard and the Pro, of course, is not only the price, but their intended use. The regular drives are designed to be used in normal hard drives of up to normal NAS drives, I should say, for up to 8 bays. They're 5400 RPM in speed, which will give you around a 100 to 110 or so megabytes per second read write. The drive also arrives with 256 megabyte of cache on board to keep things flowing, and it arrives with 3 years of manufacturer's warranty, as well as it's being rated at 180 terabytes written per year. Look at my notes briefly. It's got a 1 million MTBF hours, which is fairly standard if you rate these kind of things. And the drive itself is of course going to arrive at a more affordable price than the Pro Series, because it is designed for home and small business, really, when it comes to that kind of NAS use from brands like Synology and QNAP. Now, we've looked at the prices of the existing WD range, and we think the WD Red 14 TB standard drive is going to arrive at about 350 to 420 quid, and that's without VAT on top. That's because the traditional range retails at somewhere between 25 to 30 odd quid per terabyte. Now, if we move to the Pro series of drives, things are familiar with the odd difference. For a start, the drive is going to be more expensive. It's going to arrive, we think, again at about 490 to about 510 at the top without VAT. What do you get for that money? Well, for a start, it is a 7200 RPM drive, which means your read and writes are going to be in the 200 mark. And once again, once you introduce multiple drives into a RAID array within a NAS or DAS, you get performance benefits of multiple drives being read and written to simultaneously. So the faster the individual drives are in a RAID, the better, because you get better overall performance, and that if you're using 10 GBE or 5 GBE, or you're taking advantage of Thunderbolt connectivity, you will definitely see the advantages. Now, next to that, you get 5 years of manufacturer's warranty, and the drive itself is geared and designed to more enterprise use. That means that when you are utilizing that disk, you can use it in NAS, DAS and sandboxes that are RAID enabled all the way up to 24 bays, which is huge. And because they're designed to be in that arrangement and that kind of chassis, you end up with a better construction quality and an improved and more forensic level control of vibration and heat sensors within the drive, because you have more drives being read and written to within that RAID environment. And of course, because NASs are designed to be on for days, weeks, months, or even years at a time, both of these drives are designed to work very well within up to 8 bays and up to 24 bays with regards to control of vibration, overall speed, cache management, and just general access times. With, of course, the Pro series requiring a little bit more power and making a little bit more noise as the arm and the platters all work and the drive is in operation. Now, both of these series of drives are not available right now. We are hoping to see them in the near future, at least before the end of 2019. I reckon we'll get them in somewhere for November, December perhaps. And of course, there is a link in the description to take you through to both NAS Compares and Spam.com. But what's worth highlighting is that right now, the kind of reigning champ in terms of capacity, Seagate, is once again going to be at loggerheads and battling with the likes of WD, because WD may have sat on that 10 TB drive for quite a while, probably longer than they should have. They still released bigger and better drives in other ranges and with HDST as well. So it's great that WD Red is now coming into the fold. If you've got any questions about this, or if maybe I've missed something, perhaps you've got a point to add that I didn't cover, bung it in the comments and click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. But otherwise, I will see you next time.